Uruks of Mordor have risen. Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to a new update video on the latest patch for Rise of Mordor that will hopefully be coming out very soon for you guys over on ModDB. I'll be sure to go ahead and link it down below in the description. In this patch, we get a bunch more new Mordor units, so we get a ton more Uruks, one of which you're seeing right now. There's new Ithilien units, Isengard get new Lodds. There's 3 really cool new maps again. We're fighting on one right now. As well as that, there's a bunch more minor bug fixes and a few more units added in for a few other factions. And as you can tell, we are going to have one hell of a battle in today's video. I used to do these type of battles back about 2 years ago, and we used to get about 2 FPS. And now, you know, we've got almost 23,000 soldiers ready to fight and die for your entertainment and all this Lord of the Rings glory. I mean, what's not to love right now as the Uruks move forward? So we're actually going to go ahead and stick it. I'll probably pause it actually because I want to take a look at the new units and take a look at this awesome new map, which I'm really happy they're starting to do more and more maps. So let's start off by looking at the Uruk units. Do they have the Uruk pikes on the front? Yeah, they do have the Uruk pikes on the front. So here we go. These are some of the new units that we're going to be taking a look at. There's a new armor set. I love the variations in the helmets as well. I feel like the Uruks definitely rely on having different variations in their armor. They shouldn't be all uniform like Gondor. There should be, you know, loads of like maybe armor pieces missing from certain units and, you know, a real ragtag bunch of units. And it's really nice to see the improvement that the team has done, because if you don't know, the original Rise of Mordor team have completely moved on from the project, and they handed the reins over to this new team who have begun to like learn how to model. They've been learning how to import stuff into Total War Attila, and you can really see the progress they're making on these units. These new Uruk uniforms are great, definitely a great improvement on the previous selection, and just like simply like placing units together, like putting armor in certain places, it's just a great you know, progress with the team. So I want to give them a massive shout out for really, you know, just sticking with the mod and keeping it alive, because without them this mod would be completely dead. So yeah, a massive shout out to them. I also really dig the weapons as well. It's a great you know, great weapon for the Uruks. So then we have kind of the normal Uruks back here. We've already seen these guys. I don't think they've seen any updates or anything. Then next we do have some of these cool looking Uruk swordsmen. And actually, these are the Uruk Bowmen. So again, just kind of same armor set, and I'm sure, you know, variations of these will come in as the mod progresses, but for now, that's kind of what we've got. And then we've got these really cool Uruk swordsmen as well. I really like their shields. It's yeah, nice kind of like spiky, different, kind of really speaks more to what I mean. Just look at them eyes. That's a face only a mother could love right there. So yeah, hopefully, you know, they continue to pump out really cool stuff like this. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they can do now. As well as that, we've also got this really cool Ithilien map as well, and this is something I want to speak on really quickly before we get started in this huge battle. I think this is really key that they keep on updating and putting out more and more maps, as campaign is literally years away, if ever. I think this mod is going to, you know, be mainly played in multiplayer. So to have really cool maps like this coming out, I believe this mod pack, this patch will have 3 new maps. And I think that's really, you know, great for the community. It will get people playing because they want to, you know, test out the new map, create their own scenarios on these maps. And I think going more down the route of like a Third Age Reforged, where they really focus on having cool maps, really good multiplayer balancing and stuff, is going to be the way to go forward for Rise of Mordor. It will also allow me to pump out some pretty cool battles for you guys as well. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, because yeah, this is a really cool map. It sets a brilliant scenario, and you can kind of do anything with it. You know, this scenario is like an ambush battle, but you could have like a defensive force in the forest and kind of just set it up completely differently to have a completely different battle. So yeah, it's very cool. I don't think any of the new Easterling units, because I think there's 2 new Easterling units being added in this patch, and I don't think they're actually going to be in this battle, but we can take a look at them in another one. Yeah, these all look like the original Easterling units, if I'm not mistaken. So we haven't got any new ones yet, and they've got some Harad right here as well. So yeah, that's going to be basically it for this battle, kind of what, you know, is new in the game. And also something really important to keep an eye on as well is going to be, you know, the new Lodds for Isengard as well. That's going to be a really you know, great improvement. You can actually have some proper massive Helm's Deep battles, and here we go. The ambush has been kicked off as the arrows come flying in on the cavalry right there. I'm assuming the infantry will be moving here. You can see Mordor quickly forming up as fast as they can. It does seem like the Eastlings are a little bit deployed or a little bit too busy. And we're going to kick this one off with just kind of throwing some cavalry forward. This is not a bad idea right now, because throwing this cavalry forward is going to slow up the ambushing forces, and they're actually going to get a really good charge off into the back of these Ithilien skirmishers. Yeah, that's actually a really good move there by the Eastling player. It goes ahead and keeps the Gondorians on the back foot and allows them to now form up their battle line. However, these archers, the Ithilien range, these are actually Gondorian archers, are now just letting loose their quivers. They are receiving a bit of missile fire coming back at them from the Uruks, but they're very well protected with that heavy armor in the forest as well. So they are going to be unloading every arrow they can off onto these Uruks as they do form up. Yeah, some of the new Uruks are right here. And these guys can form a shield wall as well. So these aren't, just simple rabble. These are Uruks bred for a single purpose, even though they are being shot in the back with a few of these Gondorian arrows. But this armor is obviously proving pretty nice for them. And this is actually a really good move as well, because all the Uruks are facing this way in Mordor, and they've got their main force just advancing slowly in, with the archers just coming in. The Eastlings have formed up a very, very cool formation. I like this. This looks awesome. And what would be great, I don't know if there is a way to get around this mountain. I don't think you have to go all the way around, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe try and just come up behind them with some cavalry or something. Definitely would not be a bad idea. But right now, it's all up to the Ithilien Rangers just harassing these Uruks. These guys aren't even shooting right now. I guess maybe they're just trying to bait these dudes in, because, yeah, killing some of the Uruk spears or something is going to be a important thing, because I imagine stat-wise, these guys are pretty decent as well. Definitely can hold their own in a battle, if they do get, charged upon or anything like that. So we're just really waiting for the infantry to really clash, and it seems like some Gondorian militia spearmen are going to be thrown up first, and I don't know if they're going to be able to fare too well. I mean, realistically, I think this force right here is just a delay force. An army, basically, to keep the Uruks at bay, whilst the other, reinforcements come in. Because as you can see, some of these guys have chainmail, some of them don't. They're a very, very loose, bunch of men, and they're really not going to do too great. And they're just kind of really relying on their archers. But yeah, the Uruk archers now, the heavy Uruk archers are shooting in. And now some Orc rabble are being thrown in. These guys are utter shitters. They are so bad. They're basically just here for like a delay force. I mean, they might be able to hold their own against some Gondor militia. But I think even Gondor militia will be able to take them down. They're just, the weakest Orc sent in the front line to absorb ammunition. Basically just a massive throwaway force. And oh my god, the lines against the Eastlings have fully clashed now. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed this. The heavy Gondorian infantry, the state troops, have now clashed in against the weaker Harad infantry. All down the battle line, and you can see they're just going to be having such a good time against them as they really, just go, absolutely slaughter them. They're now also advancing some more heavy, some weaker infantry actually, some Gondor sword militia now. This is kind of more of this Harad infantry's level, so yeah, over here it'll be a pretty even matchup, I would imagine. And the archers are trying their best to whittle down the Eastling archers. So far the ambush is going pretty successful, I would say. We also have a cavalry charge coming in as well. And again, this, if by the looks of it, the Gondorians got a really good charge off against the Southern Lancers. And the Southern Cavalry, are mainly just light shot cavalry. They get really good hits with them long spears. And then in prolonged combat, obviously, the Gondorian heavy spear cav will win this overall, which is a nice move right there. As all the lines, yeah, so, I mean, this is a pretty awesome battle, man. Numbers, performance-wise as well, like, the game is running really nicely with 23,000 men. Because it gets to a point where it's no longer, my computer can't improve performance anymore, and it really just comes down to the engine. So, yeah, again, it's great to see these guys really just fighting off. And there you go, that Harad battle line is really starting to crumble. We do have a small engagement over here. It looks like some of these Uruk broke formation. These Orc pillagers broke formation and charged in. They were too busy to pillage that they charged in, which is not a bad idea, actually. I mean, obviously they've been broken back, but I imagine they were probably the main target from these Ithilien Rangers, who are also under missile fire right now. I mean, the Uruks can't see what they're shooting at, but they're just focusing every bit of arrow they have up on this hill. They're like, they're over here, shoot them down. And again, it's not like the Uruk archers are going to be bad. That's, I think, one of the real major things I hope Rise of Mordor does. It doesn't just make the evil factions rubbish, you know? Like, I really hope their heavy infantry can hold its own, you know? Just because they have tons of numbers don't mean that they're not ferocious warriors. And that's why I love Third Age Reforged a lot as well, because they don't shy away from making evil factions OP, because obviously evil factions were really OP. And also, look at this shield. Oh, wow. That looks very cool down there with the spear line. Go nice in cinematic mode. Oh, the Uruks are ready. They are ready. They're taking a bit of missile fire down here. I think it's a pikeman being... Yeah, no, it's actually the... Yeah, it's the pikeman being focused down. Oh, we have some artillery going out as well. Some of the onagers. I'd love to see some custom-made catapults as well at some point. I know it's not really the focus point, but I think it'd be really cool to see some actual, like, Uruk siege equipment and, like, ballistas and stuff. I think that'd be very, very cool. So we're having more fighting here. The actual more elite Uruks have now been thrown into the fight against the Gondor spear militia, and they are doing a decent job. You can see that they're whittling down the numbers, but again, this is simply just a delay force, honestly. As long as the Gondorians can keep them busy here, the rest of their forces can do their magic and whittle them down as much as they can. Yeah, you can see the lines are really starting to thin out here. These Uruks are even in shield wall as well. We did actually have a little bit of a movement here by the Gondorian archers to kind of support this area. Yeah, Orc Rabble are going to be breaking. They're just so... There's 260 of them in a unit, so it's not like they really suffer too much. And this Gondorian line with their, you know, superior missile fire is doing a great job. It wouldn't surprise me if the Orcs actually do have to charge down this. They also have a lot of Orc Rabble on this left flank, and here we go. Exactly when I said it, they actually started to advance in these wedge formations, just trying to break up the Gondorian shield walls, which are, you know, obviously so goddamn fierce. Fighting some of the Pinefgilir spearmen. Sounds like Welsh or something. But again, that's one of the things that people are saying, oh, and again, I like this, I like that. But it's cool to see the Gondorians with different units, you know, they're not just the normal state troops of Minas Tirith. Gondor was an extremely large place, and they really drew men from everywhere. I mean, in the siege of Minas Tirith, a lot of their defenders were from Dol Amroth. A lot of the soldiers made it in right before the end, before the city got completely surrounded. So you do see a lot of Dol Amroth units, you know, in the siege of Minas Tirith, which you don't see in the movie or anything. You know, a lot of troops were being, you know, put into the city. The Orcs are really pounding away. Also, look how much smaller the Orcs are as well compared to the Gondorians. Artillery as well pounding away. Oh, we have some Fountain Guard as well coming out to this fight. Very, very cool. Don't quite know where they're forming up. I guess they're going on the offensive right now. You have some Gondorians charging in against the new Uruk units. And the Spearmen as well forming, or Pikemen actually forming up over here. I imagine that's what the Fountain Guard is looking to do. Yeah, it's a really cool formation for the Gondorians. They're looking to like close off this section of the battlefield so they can advance and won't suffer any outflanking. It's not a bad plan. How is the fight over here against the Harad and Easterlings? Cavalry's hammering and anviling into the back of the forces of the Harad. And if we take a look at the numbers, is it going to show me? Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. Okay, it's not going to show me. We'll come back to the numbers, but I'm sure, you know, both sides are taking heavy casualties. As you can see, a lot of these Gondorians are even routing. And, you know, when you do get onto the actual proper Eastling infantry, the Gondorians have a much harder time. Because, as you can see, they're armoured with maces, they're armoured with, you know, curved blades, which are great at breaking through the armour of the Gondorians. However, you know, because they've won the cavalry fight, these mounted troops of Minas Tirith can just rear charge in and do some, you know, crazy DPS on the back. But the Eastlings, you know, are you know, fresher than the Gondorians, as you can see. They've got more energy and they're doing a great job. A nice position here by the Pelargir Marines. A good, like, kind of side view off here. Hopefully they'll fire soon, though, because they need to get off as many of these javelins as they can before the Eastlings break through. Because, I don't know, it's looking like the Eastlings might have this one. I mean, we have a large force scattered off to the side, which could easily come round. And with the Gondorians coming in, I don't know, it looks like they're winning the center, but their flank is being caved in really, really effectively by the Gondorians. Over on this side as well, it seems like the Orcs are having success over on this part of the battlefield, but they're kind of struggling down the main line. I say that, but they've also managed to actually break some men around here. There was an Orc unit somewhere scattered around. Now, maybe it was just a routing one. I also can't wait until they add in Uruks into this mod. Yeah, it's just some more Southern Lancers down here. Nothing too exciting. Yeah, I mean, their front line has, you know, the Fountain Guard are being focused down by all of the Uruks. This is obviously a prime target. The more ammunition they can waste on this unit, the better. Because they're just such an annoyance. They're just really high morale. They're elite infantry. And I believe there's like 4 tiers in Rise of Mordor. You have kind of like militia, trained, like highly trained, and then elite, I believe is how it's worked out. And obviously the elite being the strongest infantry. So killing them is a great move. We do have some Southern Cavalry though coming down, trying to charge onto the Gondorian archers. They just take a ton of arrow fire, and we're also going to be getting the Gondorian general moving up in his Citadel Guard unit to go ahead and help protect the missiles, which is a great, you know, kind of maneuver. But it was also great by the Ithilien player to actually get his cavalry through the gaps that these archers have created. You can see as well the crossfire going across here. But yeah, the missiles moving around. And it looks like the Uruks have broken through. There's only a handful of units left remaining here. Obviously, we do have the spearmen fighting on here. And up against the Axemen, it's going to be no easy battle. But if they clear up all of these forces, then they can reform up and maybe even try and like blockade themselves in. Oh, but we have a big cavalry move right here. I assume they're immediately going to be going through this gap and just causing some real big issues for the entire Orc battle line. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. But the Orc player is going to try and throw in some rabble to cut those and really slow them down for as long as possible. I imagine the Gondorian cavalry, though, is just going to wipe these guys off the face of the earth. They're just not formed up enough. And it's only going to be a matter of time until they can completely envelop what's over here. We do have some more archer fire coming in and some Orc pikes as well. So the Orc pikes being committed over here is going to be, you know, a necessity if they can. But I think the Gondorian cavalry is going to break its way through. However, the Southern Lancers are going to be trying to hit these guys. And as we said earlier, the Southern Lancers on the charge are really good. But just in prolonged combat, they're going to struggle. And unfortunately, it seems like the Gondorians just have the cavalry. But we do also have some pikes coming in. The catapult, is this going to hit anything? No, I think it was going after the cavalry, unfortunately. And the pikes, are they going to get their pikes down? Oh, they didn't get their pikes down in time. That is really, really unfortunate for them. The cavalry is going to charge in and then manage to get the hell out of there. Wouldn't be a bad idea just a rear charge for Southern Cavalry either. Yeah, the pikes took a ton of damage there before they could get their weapons down. Archers are going to give them a volley as they retreat. So, I mean, I guess maybe not too bad of an exchange. Can we see the band's power yet? Oh my god, it's just not going to tell me the numbers. I don't know why. There we go, awesome. So both sides, oh my god, the Orcs have seriously lost some men. As the numbers are very, very similar. All these archers are going to be focusing down the Citadel Guard. Luckily, the Citadel Guard are very tanky with these huge shields. And I mean, the Eastlings are doing a very, very impressive job at holding this up. I mean, they have no way to deal with these archers, but everything else is doing pretty goddamn decent. We have some Gondorian cavalry. Yeah, we have the Dioramoth Swan Knights as well in this battle, fighting some of the Eastling infantry. A few cavalrymen as well charging on the Eastlings. Yeah, the Gondorian cavalry on this side is very, very depleted. But I mean, the Eastling infantry is pushing back, even though they are kind of being hammered from every side. They're enveloping on certain positions. The Eastlings are holding firm. I mean, it's because their vigor is just a lot better on a few of these units. Especially as they move infantry in, trying to catch down these Ithilien Rangers. Now, the Ithilien Rangers can hold their own in these melee combats, but they're never going to be, you know, they just don't have the armor to go toe-to-toe with, say, the heavy infantry of the Eastlings. But, I mean, they're mainly just acting as a force to hold this unit in place. But the Eastlings have won a pretty crucial victory over in this forest area. And now, very quickly, they're going to be committing all of their men down. If we go take a look at the Orc front, though, it seems like it's struggling, or at least the Orc rabble parts of the front have broken. But, I mean, these Uruk pikemen or these Uruk spearmen are holding firm. It's weird to see the Uruks in such a kind of detailed formation, but it seems to be really, really working for them. They are repelling some of these levy troops. I mean, these are actually trained infantry, right? Yeah, these are trained, so they're tier 2, so they're not bad. You know, these Uruks are heavily armoured, so very, very decent. All the Citadel Guard have now been engaged. I also really dig, so this is something I haven't mentioned, but the weapons are nice as well on these bowmen. You know, kind of like cleave weapons. We have kind of more curved blades like that, which are kind of like a take on the Isengard weapon. It's like the Isengard weapon, but it's got a bit of a curve. Oh, the cavalry coming in, though. The Gondorians have arrived. That is just going to send the archers into the abyss. Yeah, all of the cavalry coming in. And we also have a nice contingent of Gondorians here who have obviously won that battle, needing to move in. Oh, wow. So the Eastlings are not even looking to finish up. They have heard the cries from their Mordor friends that the Mordorians are calling for aid. And the Eastlings shall answer. Yeah, I guess if they don't support this army, the battle is gone. It is over. So I like the decision here to kind of abandon this part of the battle because, you know, you could win this, but you're going to lose this battle if you don't reinforce ASAP. So I like this move from the Eastling player to throw over. Oh yeah, the Eastling general is actually a Uruk as well. Obviously bringing these guys to the Black Gate or something. Nice. So this is a nice move. I mean, the men are exhausted right now, but I mean, so are the Gondorians, so they just need to get over here and try and deal with as much cavalry as they can. But maybe it's just a little bit too late now as the Gondorians make great progress against the Uruk forces. Not a bad move whatsoever. It seems like the Eastlings are just caught up for far too long. But, you know, still really, really good showing on both sides. I mean, this battle is not over yet either. There's still 13 minutes left in this engagement. But it seems, you know, the forces of evil only have 1,300 men left, or 2,000 men left, whereas the Gondorians and the ambushes have 35,000. I mean, normally, if you're being ambushed, you're going to be at such a big disadvantage. It's going to be hard to rally together. Something they could have done, obviously, to win the battle was probably just form a big box of everything, but obviously that would not be fun. You know, this is a scenario battle more than a kind of like try-hard multiplayer battle. Now, it's not to say that obviously every side was trying to win in this engagement, but they still take a bit more cinematic pleasure in these battles rather than just doing everything they can to win. You know, they want to make it look cool for you guys, but also give a good showing, you know, still tried to win to the best of their abilities. I think this battle has definitely been a good showing for sure. I loved the way the Eastlings formed up their formation, preparing for battle, and we have this epic Uruk charge. Oh no, the Uruks have been surrounded as Gondor comes in from both sides now. I mean, this is what, you know, 14,000 Mordor units killed. I'm sure the spawning pits will rekindle them losses very, very quickly. Also, quick, like, Lord of the Rings question. Like, was there any limit to how many orcs that Mordor could spawn? Like, you know, was there, like, a resource that it, like, cost us? Like, because I don't actually know exactly. Like, I know the orcs come from spawning pits and they're kind of, like, you know, mutated and stuff from elves ages ago, etc. I know kind of like the basics about that, but like were there like a limit to how many they could spawn, or was it just simply time? You know, it took time to basically, you know, create these Uruks from the spawning pits, or orcs or goblins or whatever from the spawning pits, and, you know, just if they had infinite time, they'd be able to create infinite orcs, or was there actually like a supply of something that they wasted every time they made one orc? Let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to read that. I follow a great channel, I'm sure many of you guys have heard of it, called Men of the West, which goes into a lot of like Lord of the Rings lore in a lot of detail, and he creates it in a very, very good way. So if you're looking to find out the answers to stuff like that, go check out Men of the West. It's a great YouTube channel, and you know, it'll give you anything Lord of the Rings you need to know about. Loads of like what if scenarios, where he talks about, you know, what if, you know, Saruman took the ring, or, you know, what if Gandalf took the ring, what would happen, or, you know, just loads of really cool stuff like that. Basically, anything you want to know about Lord of the Rings, that channel will have it. So yeah, if we zoom out of the battlefield, we can see that there is a small stand really left going. The Orcs have been completely annihilated, and now it's just the Eastlings have formed up their last little square right here. God, it feels like the Romans at Teutoburg Forest as they move in. Well, we actually could have a Teutoburg Forest battle, because I believe there's forts on certain sides. Yeah, there's actual like proper camps up here, which is hilarious, because obviously that's what the Romans did at Teutoburg Forest. They actually, well, there is implied that they built fortifications. You know, archaeologists, I can't pronounce that word apparently, you know, found evidence that they did build forts inside the forest over the 4 or 5 days, that, or was it 3 or 4? It was like, yeah, 3 to 5 days that they did get, you know, surrounded and slowly picked off bit by bit. So you could actually have a pretty cool battle like this. The cavalry rear charging into the warriors. Yeah, the Diamroth Knights are proving why they are such heavy cavalry, and I think all hope is lost here. They are making one last charge out. I mean, right now, they could maybe go in to try and finish off this Gondorian. You know, just try and take down as many of the enemy as they can. And I think that's exactly what they're doing right now. Until the other secondary army can make their way into this battle, I think they're just going to commit everything to this engagement. Which is a smart idea, you know, just try and kill as many Gondorians as they can. Well, you could argue that they're trying to fight their way out, right? They're obviously not going to escape through this position of the battlefield, so they are just, you know, pushing their way out, trying to come back the way they came. But I mean, after such a heavy battle, they are going to be exhausted. Also, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this update. Are you going to be getting it when it comes out? And also, I guess if you guys don't know, the mod is no longer on Steam. It is now moved over to ModDB. Creative Assembly asked them to take it off the Steam Workshop. So they obviously, you know, went ahead and did that. But you can download it really easy on ModDB. You just have to download it and stick it in your data folder for Total War Attila, and it will appear right there. So make sure to go over and, you know, let them know in their Discord as well, some love, that they're doing a great job, because this has been a great update. We got some fire trees over here as the cavalry just charge down whatever's over there. I think the Eastlings are just trying to pick away as many horses as they can. But this has been an absolute, you know, slaughter for the Eastlings. I also want to take a look. I love doing this. It's kind of taking a look at the bodies after the battle, so you can really tell where the engagements have been held. I mean, this is one hell of a battlefield right here. So many scattered dead on, you know, both sides of this battle line. We have some really cool engagements down here as well. You can see where the battles have taken place. This huge choke point right here. Lots of cavalry being slain. I mean, obviously we have the Easterlings as well. I mean, this was probably the the most bloodiest part of the battle was right here. As he's just, wow, this poor unit of spearmen. They just can't catch all the Ithilien Rangers. They're just far too mobile, agile. You know, the Urks are in plate armor, whereas these guys are in leather, so yeah, they're much more equipped to take these guys down. And these Urks, they form square. Look at this, how funny this is. There is nothing they can do. besides sit here and die. And there you go. They are going to rout from the battlefield, realizing that there is no hope left. I thought I'd just skip ahead the past like 4 minutes just because there wasn't really much going on. They basically managed to kill this entire Gondorian army though in their last stand, as this army just sat back and watched and let them fight it out. However, they decided now to move in and finish this one off once and for all. So yeah, that's basically going to be the update. Stick around though, because we're going to be taking a look at the kills to see how these Uruks do perform or did perform in this battle. But yeah, be sure to let me know what you guys think of the update. I know I recently just said that, but do let me know, as I'd be interesting to see what you guys think of it. And also there's like another 2 more maps as well in this patch, so if you want to see me play on them, the new patch itself, then do be sure to go ahead and leave a like down below. You know, whenever these videos, if these videos do well, it tells the guys who send in these battles that you guys enjoy them, and they do really well, and also it helps out the channel massively, so I do definitely appreciate that. But yeah, there you go. The ambush has been successful. The Gondorians have claimed victory. However, the forces of evil definitely did put up a great fight worthy of Sauron himself. So yeah, you can see, I mean, look at this first army taking a ton of casualties right there. But oh wow, the Gondorian. And we taking a look at the first army. Yes, 600 kills of these Knights of the Silver Swan. Holy crap. And this Gondorian infantry unit getting over 500. I mean, these guys are probably the ones fighting the weaker units like the Orc Rabble and the Harad Swordsman. But my god, I mean, even the Harad Swordsman did do pretty decently. So yeah, very impressive stuff there. The second Gondorian army, Citadel Guard, over 250 kills and 581 kills on the Axemen. My god. Over on Harad, we can see that their forces, and with the support of the Eastlings, doing pretty decently, holding their own very, very admirably. A lot of cavalry as well, which just kind of maybe just couldn't stand up to the Gondorians. And then finally, the forces of Mordor. Yeah, these Uruk units doing kind of a little bit disappointing. I mean, they are spearmen. The swordsmen did do a bit better, for sure. The Orc Rabble getting wiped away. And the Orc Archers doing okay. So maybe we'd like to see these guys a little bit stronger than they are. But I guess the numbers, you know, if it wasn't an ambush, they'd be able to use their numbers a bit more effectively. But yeah, still very, very cool stuff. I really enjoyed this battle. I have one more replay, so be sure to drop a like down below if you want to see that one up on the channel in the next week. And I'll see you guys in the next one.